by this structured query language, that is SQL, right? So structured query language, so it is can be called as like a SQL. So first of all, before going for the SQL, what does mean by that SQL? First of all, you just understand what does mean by the relational database. So what does mean by the relational database? Relations are established among different data variables from data in a multiple tables using a primary key. So what does mean by that? For an example, if you have multiple data, so from that you are going to find out, or you are going to extract the relations from the data, from the different data, or from the different variable which are present in the different data. Okay, so that is the about a relational database. Okay, and while talking about this SQL, so this is the querying language used to manage a relational database. Okay, so as we have already know that what does mean by a relational database, it is a relations which is going to be established among different data variables from the different data in a multiple tables, or any other different sources. So that is known as a relational database, whereas SQL, which is a querying language used to manage that relational database. Okay, that is what this structure, this SQL means. I hope you are clear up to now. So if you are super clear with this, you just post "I'm super clear, Sanjay" in your comment box. Okay, so and then what we'll go for it, we'll go for the SQL commands, because there are some of the commands which we really want to know about SQL commands. So for an example, first of all, data definition language. So that is going to be called as DDL, and then we have a data manipulation language, that is DML, and data control language, that is DCL, and then transaction control language, that is TCL, and here we have data query language, DQL. Okay, these are all the different commands, guys. You just try to remember DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and then DQL. So let us explore what are the functions which we can able to do, what are the commands we can execute based on the certain language. So under the SQL command, so here we have this DDL, right? So under the DDL, so we can able to create. So create in the sense, if you want to create certain table, so that can be under part or under the command called DDL. Okay, creating. And dropping, so dropping in the sense, if you want to drop out a certain table, or if you want to drop out a certain column, that is a drop command. And alter, so if you want to change a certain data, like find and replace, so if you want to do it in a database, that table, so which are present in your database, so likewise that can be done with the help of alter. And then truncate, so it is like a combining, or it is kind of like appending, so it is kind of a truncating a data. And then likewise here we have data manipulation. So data manipulation in the sense like insert, update, delete, merge, so these are all the functions of DML. And for DCL, here we have grant and then revoke. And for TCL, here we have other commands like commit, rollback, save point. And under the DQL, here we have select. Okay, so these are all different SQL commands which is going to be helpful for executing different kind of functions. So if you want to create a table, or if you want to create a database, so and then if you want to delete a database, if you want to append, or if you want to replace, so these kind of different function which is going to be under the different kind of categories such as DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and then DQL. Okay, these are all different SQL commands. And then while directly discussing about the MySQL, so on specific about MySQL, this is going to follow the client server architecture, so where it is going to be going to have multiple number of clients, so that you can that people can able to access the data. It is like a kind of client and then server architecture. And this MySQL can able to hold large amount of data, and this MySQL, which is very easy to store the data and access the data and manipulate the data. And this MySQL having different programming support. For an example, you can use Python, as well as you can use different kind of programming languages to obtain or to acquire or to manipulate the data from different by using a different programming languages. Even though on the tomorrow session we are going to work on a Python with the MySQL. Okay, so here on specific, these are all the major advantage and the major benefits from the SQL. It is going to be a client and then server architecture, which is going to hold large amount of data, and which is it is easy to store, and it is easy to store and then access and then manipulate. And then it is going to have different programming support, so it is already having different programming support, so that with the help of different programming languages we can able to execute this MySQL. Okay, so like we can able to use this MySQL for data acquisition or manipulation. Okay, so here while talking about this MySQL, so it is also necessary to know about the data types. So what are the data types? So what are the data types, guys? As we already know, so there are some of the data points out there, right? So like integer or character or string and those things, right? Here also are same as like, but here we have a certain format, like how we are going to what to say, how we are going to initialize that. So for an example, so under the numeric category, of course we know like integer, float, real, double, precision, a decimal, and then small n. So these are all different data type, so which can be like if you are data type, for an example, if you are initializing certain data, if you are creating a certain data set, so on the data set if you want to enter the age, so definitely age is going to be the integer, right? So it may be a real numbers, it may be a float numbers, which is going to be under the category of numeric. And then second kind of data type, which is a Boolean type. So Boolean type means it is going to be either true or false or unknown value. Okay, this is going to be a Boolean. So it is going to be helpful for like a positive or negative, true or false, fake or real. So where there is a binary kind of condition, we can go for this Boolean variables. And then third one, which is character or string. So for an example, here we have character or var character or glob. So for an example, so you can with the help of the var character, you can use alphanumeric alphabets, numbers, symbols in a certain as a data. So likewise, so these are all known as like character and then string data type. And then here we have date and then time, of course. So for an example, if you want to initialize with a date format, like so you may use a hyphen in between as a delimiter, or slash, or 7 July or 7 September 96. So likewise, whatever you want. So likewise, whatever will be the format. So it may be a hyphen, or it may be in a slash. It may be a month or date, or it may be a date or month, or it may be like what? Like wording format, like 7 July 1996. So this kind of thing. So that thing can be done with the help of this data type called date and then time. And then fifth one, which is bit or the string. So bit or the string. So like I think you guys all know normal bit, like zeros or one. So like that kind of bit or string. So that can be done with the help of this data type called bit and then bit varying. Okay, so I hope you understand the basic data type about the SQL. So basically we'll use integer, float, and then decimal, or like a double. So double, and then we'll go for the Boolean, and majorly we'll use character or string, and then of course we'll use the data type. So these are all the majorly useful data types, which is going to be under the category of MySQL. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this, guys, the data types. So apart from the data types, we also have some constraints about SQL. So in the MySQL, we have some constraints. So constraints in the sense we have check constraints. So this check constraints will be helpful for checking the certain value. For an example, if you want to entering a data in the sense if you are going to create a table or something like that, if you want to insert some data, so if you are going to check whether there is a NaN variables or not, so for that, instead of that, you need to replace it with any other values. So that can be done with the help of this check constraints. And then not null. So if you want to check out any values empty or null, so if you want to check it out, that can be done with the help of not null itself. Okay, you can either go for like check or not null itself. And then unique. So unique in the sense to ensure that column value in each and every row, which is unique value. So for an example, so column values are there, right? So 1, 2, 3. So for an example, if you may have a phone number, you may have age, so those things. So to ensure that column value in each and every row, which is in a unique values or not, that is known as a unique. So if you want to check it out, that unique value, you can use this unique constraints. And there is a primary key, which ensures that the column value in every row in unique and also has no null value. So it is a next level conditions of unique condition. So unique, it won't check for a null value or empty cells, whereas this primary key will be helpful for checking both uniqueness, and then it should not also have a null values. This is the primary key. And then here we have foreign key. Foreign key means to form a parent-child relationship between the table. For an example, you may have certain tables or certain columns. So from that, you may consider any parent and child relations. For an example, like what you can take phone number means, so +91. So it is a code, right? So country code, and then 4 number. So it is just a basic, very worst example, I know. Okay, other than that, whenever there is any dependencies over the certain data, for an example, Mr. Champ or something like that. Okay, so whenever there is a parent and then child relationship, so it may be like a kind of tree structure even. constraint. So on that constraint, so if you want to have that kind of tree kind of structure or parent child kind of structure, we can use this foreign key constraints. Okay, I hope you are clear with this MySQL constraints. Okay, so and then after this, we are going to work on a hands-on. So before that, we'll have a quick overview, guys, because it is really needed, right? So first of all, while talking about this database, so this database, which is going to be helpful for storing and then accessing and then manipulating a data. So while talking about this data type database, we have lot type of databases out there like MySQL, MongoDB, PostSQL, PostgreSQL, or SQLite, and etc. And structured query language. So while talking about the SQL on specific, this is nothing but a SQL, which is structured query language. So before understanding about the SQL, we need to know about what is meant by relational database. Relations are established among different data variables from the data in multiple tables using a primary key. This is known as a relational database without any empty values, which contains only unique values, which is from the different variables from the different data. So that is known as this relational database. So the querying language which is used to manage this relational database, which is known as a structured query language. And while talking about the SQL commands, here we have, based on the some of the language dependencies, we have different kind of methods and commands. So for an example, here we have DDL and then DML, DCL, TCL, and then DQL. Under that, we have some of the functions like creating a table or dropping out the certain column or altering the certain data or truncating the data. So likewise, whatever there are a lot of commands which is going to be under the certain categories of like DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and then DQL. And while talking about the MySQL benefits, it is going to follow the client server architecture, which is going to hold lot amount of data, which can able to hold lot amount of data, and which is easy to store, access, and then manipulate, and different programming support, because with the help of different programming languages, we can able to access this MySQL database. And then MySQL data type. So while talking about this data type, here we have, of course, we have numeric, boolean, character or string, date and time, and then bit or the string. And apart from the data type, we also have some constraints on the MySQL. Constraints in the sense check, not null, unique, primary key, and then foreign key. Okay, so up to now, I hope you all clearly understand why we are going for this MySQL, on what is meant by the SQL, and what is the benefits of MySQL, and what are all the data types of MySQL, what are the constraints of the MySQL. If you are super clear with this, you just post "I'm super clear, Sanjay" in your live chat. Okay, so so that's the thing. Okay, so I hope you understand this. Okay, now let us go for this installation, guys. So before going on to this installation, I would like to give very biggest suggestions, because these are all the problems which is faced by a lot of the people who started working on MySQL. Because whenever the people used to install MySQL, if you are trying to uninstall that MySQL, and if you are trying to install it again, you may face lot of problem, guys. Because I have also faced a lot of problem. The problem is the major problem. So if you have notebooks with you, just please note it down, guys. Okay, so what does mean by that? For an example, the first main problem you will face that, which is whenever you are uninstalled and whenever you are trying to reinstall it, it may give you the error that connector, so which is already running, or the connector file which is already present there. You will face a lot of problem on that. So on the time, we need to go for registers. We just want to clear the registries. I hope some of the people may know about the registries. So we need to go for the registries, and we need to delete that MySQL completely. Okay, so likewise, you will face lot of error whenever you are trying to uninstall and reinstall it again. Okay, if you are going to, the main tips to overcome that problem, which is to please try to use any kind of not only your basic uninstaller. Instead of that, you can use any different uninstaller where it will remove complete register as well. Okay, you please try to use that kind of uninstaller on specific. So these are all the major problems, guys. The first problem, main problem is whenever you are uninstalling and reinstalling it again, it will give you the lot of bugs and then errors that you can't able to find out that connectors or that connector which is already installed. Even though you uninstalled it properly and even though you have deleted the complete files, definitely it will give you the same kind of error again and again. So on the time, we need to go for the registries, and then we need to delete lot more things. Okay, that is the main about the problems which you will face. Okay, to fix that problem, please try to use different uninstaller on specific. Okay, so to remove that registry as well. Okay, this is the case where we are going to uninstall the MySQL and we're going to reinstall it. Okay, that is the major problem, guys. Okay, so here what is the thing is download and install MySQL. So let us start downloading, guys. I hope you guys are having your laptop with you. The first one, which is you are going to download it from the website, which is Windows installer. Okay, so this is MySQL Windows installer. Okay, we just type MySQL. Okay, so you just type MySQL Windows 10. Okay, you just download it. So download MySQL installer. You just click this MySQL installer. Okay, so here you just see MySQL installer is here, and here we have two things. One is Windows 86 cross 86 and 32-bit, which is MSI installer, which is in the memory of 2.4 MB. Okay, please don't go for it. Please go for this high megabytes, which is 450 megabytes. Okay, you just download it, guys. I hope definitely it will take more and more time. For the people who are all not doing it with me, please note it down, or please try to pause the video and you just do it. Okay, you just try to install it. Don't see the session like a normal vision based session. This is a hands-on, so please do it with me, guys. Okay, so I've typed MySQL downloads for Windows 10. Okay, so I just typed it and I just came into this MySQL community downloads. Under the category here we have we are going to choose Windows x86 32-bit MSI installer. And the people, I think you guys all know, so even though you are using 64-bit or 32-bit, definitely it will support the 32-bit installer. Okay, here you just want to click this download, guys. Okay, so I hope you all following me. If you are doing it with me, you just post I'm doing it with you, Sanjay, in your comment box. So Windows of x86, 32-bit MSI installer. Okay, 450.7 megabytes. Okay, so you just download it, and once it is downloaded, you just want to start installing it. Okay, so I've given the clear screenshot where which option you need to choose, because definitely while installing it may take more and more time. So that's why I've taken a clear screenshot and I've put it some comments here. Okay, so first of all, download from website. So you just want to download it, that 400 megabytes. And after that, now it's time to go for the option. So it will show this option, guys. So for the people, if the people are facing the error, so instead of showing this page, if it is giving a MySQL connector /net, so this kind of error. So if you are facing that kind of error, I think you have already installed your SQL, and you may face you are facing some of the problem while installing it from the fresh. So if you are facing that error, what you need to do is you just want to completely uninstall it from the completely. Okay, there should not be any residual like registries and those things. It should not be there. So if it is, then definitely you will face that error. You just try to use any external cleaner to clear up the registers, or go for the cleaners, or go for the registers. I hope you all know how to clean the registers, right? So let us have one more apart from the technical. Okay, so let us have some tip. Okay, whenever you are facing if you are facing the error, like if you can't able to find out, or if you can't able to overcome this error, as I already told you, you want to clear some registries. Okay, so for clearing the registries, you just go for register, like run command. So on the run command, you just go for the options like regedit. Okay, regedit. Okay, so this is the bonus, guys, so please go for it. So regedit. Okay, this is the registry editor where we need to go for this option. I'm going to click yes, so to give the administrator permission. So this is why I'm telling this is, if the people are facing the problem, like instead of this page. Okay, so whenever you are clicking, so once the download is completed, once you have clicked through, try to installing that, if you are double clicked it, and instead of getting this page, if you guys are facing any error like connector /net and that kind of error, we need to remove some of the operands, some of the functions, guys, some of the registries, because definitely whenever you are doing normal uninstaller, there will be some of the leftovers, so that whenever you are trying to reinstall it, definitely it will give you the errors and lot of problems. Okay, to remove that error, so you can remove it from here options, like you just press Ctrl F and you just put that options like connector slash net or something like that. Okay, you just try to put MySQL and delete completely. Okay, first of all, the first option, I'm not going to go very in depth on the registries. Okay, definitely it may take some time. So if you really want, if you are from internship participants, I can share you that certain program or which are all options we need to go and we need to look for that MySQL presence. Okay, I'll give for internship people. Other than that, so you want to delete it from the official or from the core directory. So for an example, if you have installed previously, you just want to go for program files or program files 86, and you just want to delete that MySQL folder completely, guys. Okay, so once it is done, you just do a restart and you just try to install it. Now you should get this page. So on this page here, we have developer default and server only, client only, full, custom. So on here, you just choose developer default. On the developer default, you just click that and you just click next. Okay, that is the developer default. Okay, don't go for any other option. Please click developer default. And then what is the second option is, so after once you have clicked that, so you will be redirected to this page or this menu options, where it will show different kind of functions like MySQL server, workbench, Visual Studio, shell, router, connector, and connector C++, connector J, connector net, connector Python, MySQL documentation, sample and the examples. So likewise, it will show on the time you just try click execute. Okay, so you just want to install it each and every kind of products. Okay, you just want to install everything. So while installing, you may face error like this kind of error. So error in the sense, so it will show like try again. So this kind of error. If it is showing this kind of error, please don't skip this part. So please click try again option. There will be a try again option. So you just click this try again option to overcome this problem where you used to face like this kind of warning error. Whenever you are facing this error, you just click this try again option to re-download and install it. Okay, so once it is done, you should get this message. You should see this window like each and every product should be in the tick. Okay, green color tick should be there. Okay, if it is giving red color warning, you just want to click the try again button to re-download and reinstall it. Okay, once it is done, so you should get this option. Okay, it should have this kind of green ticks for each and every product which is present in this MySQL internet. Okay, so that is the first option, guys. Okay, that is the step. And then what you will get is, if you are click the next, you will get this option. So on this option, it may show MySQL server version and MySQL router version and samples and then examples, and then you just want to click next. So once you have clicked the next, you will get this page. So on this page, it will show the server configuration type, which is developer computer or any other cloud computer. So this is default one. Okay, don't change anything and you just press next button. Once the next is clicked, then you will get this page where there is a two option. One is a legacy authentication method, whereas another one is use strong password encryption. So here I'm going to go for the first option where we need to get next. Okay, we just want to click next. Once you have clicked the next, you can it will ask for the password. Okay, once you have clicked the next, it will ask for the password. So for an example, the user is going to be a root, whereas here there is an option called this root password. So here we need to enter the password twice. Okay, so for make sure whether the password is right or wrong, so please give the password rightly. So here I've given password, same password for MySQL root password and then repeat password. Okay, I've given there. And apart from it, if you want to add a certain users, so for an example, in your team there are some other people, if you want to add that user also, so for them also you can give this add user. You just click the add user and you can put up a username and you just enter the user password, and you can give that user ID and then password to your colleague or your friends, so that they can be able to access this database. Okay, so likewise, you will get this page. You just enter your enter the username and then enter the password. And this add user is an optional, guys. Okay, up to now. So for now, I'm not adding any user here. Okay, so I'm just going to click next here. Okay, once you have clicked the next. So once you have entered the password and once you have clicked the next, then you'll get this page like this, where it will ask for where it will show this Windows service option, where it will show the name like a Windows service name. I'm going to keep the same name, and standard system account. There is no any change we need to do. So and you just want to simply press next button. So once the next button is pressed, then you will get this page. So in this page, it is going to have some configuration steps. So here also you don't need to do anything. Simply you just want to click the execute. So once your execute button is clicked, then it will take some time to load to configure each and every step, and you will see this green color tick mark symbol. So once it is done, so this part is completed. Okay, and after that, after you are pressed, you just want to press next button or finish button. Once the finish is clicked, then again it will go for this product configuration. So product configuration, you just want to click that next. So once the next is been clicked here, and then it will go for this finish option. So in this option also, it is not required to change anything. You just simply finish. Okay, so there is not except that password thing, you no need to do any changes on the menus, guys. Okay, so you just want to click next and then finish, and then this product configuration, again it will be, you just want to click next. And then, so first of all, it is time to connect with our server. So while connecting with the server, first of all, it will automatically assign the root name or username as a root. Okay, but now here we need to enter the password. So based on your user, for an example, if you have added multiple users, so based on that, you just want to enter the username and you just want to enter the password. But if you are an admin, if you haven't added any user, you are going to be the admin, you are the only person, means don't change the username from the root. That is the root as the username. And after that, here we are going to give the password. The password is which I've given before, right? So on this step. Okay, on this step I've given the password, right? So that is the same password which we need to enter in here, so that it will be logged in. Okay, this server will be connected now. Okay, so you should see once you have entered the password, and once the password has just been entered, you just want to click this check button. So once the check button is clicked, then you should see this page or see this window, that is connection succeeded. Okay, you should see this page which is connection succeeded. Okay, that is the menu. Okay, once it is done, what we need to go for is, then we need to click a next, and here we have option called execute. So you just want to click execute button. So you should see this running option like tick symbol will be there. So that is all, nearly we are going to finish it off. So once it is done, it will show this like option or menu called installation complete. So once it is done, you just want to click finish. So once you have clicked the finish, you will get this page, guys. Okay, I'll open this. So once the installation is completed, you can go for the menu option called menu like MySQL. So here it is having load of options. So this is, here we have MySQL Workbench. Okay, so once the installation is completed, you will get this welcome to MySQL Workbench, guys. This is open source. Whenever you just please try to work as like a hands-on. Okay, please try to install it. Okay, you will get this page, guys. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this up to now. No need to change anything in your menus and an option. You just want to go towards like a forward, like clicking execute and clicking and next. Okay, only thing you need to change is like you just want to enter the password, and finally we need to give your root username and then your password. And once it is done, if you click the next, then it will be connected and you will get this page. So you will get this MySQL Workbench like this. I hope you are clear with this installation, guys. If you have completed your installation, or if you are clear with the installation, you just post I'm clear about installation, Sanjay, in your comment box. Okay, so once you got this MySQL Workbench, so let us explore some of the options, guys. Okay, let us go for the mind map again. Okay, so here completed the installation. And then let us go for the next option, which is by creating a database and then table. So work for creating a database and then table, the first option, which is showing a database. So how to show the database? So it is also going to be very simple. So you will be already in this page. Okay, welcome to MySQL Workbench. On that, we need to click this symbol. Okay, so we just want to click the symbol. Once you have clicked the symbol, you will get this page. Okay, you will get this start migration and open view documentation and those things. Okay, so here you can click file and the new model. Okay, so likewise, if you want to create a new model, so that can be created by using new file model, or we can go for any other options. And of course, so in the file option here, we have open recent and close tab, save model and those things, and edit is here and view is here, and arrange and then model and then database. So likewise, you'll get a lot of pages like here. So for an example, I have already my open recent. I already have my old file. Okay, so here you can get like this. Okay, so for an example, for you guys it may be empty for you. Okay, you just want to create it new. So here if you want to write a program, so for an example, same as like basic scripts which I'm going to teach for you. Okay, here we have query, right? So this is the query, and while talking about this query, so first of all, the first statement, which is about show databases. So if you want to execute this databases, so if you want to display that database, that can be done with the help of the command called show database. Okay, so here if you want to open another script, so that option which is also available here, and save option, and here if you want to save the current statement, so that option which is present here. Okay, so likewise we have. Okay, so here there is a two option, guys. One is create a new SQL tab for executing queries, and another one open a SQL script with a new query tab. Okay, you can also click this. So this is a new SQL query. Here we can able to write execute commands. So the first command, which is show database. For an example, if you want to know what all the database are there, so you can type show databases. Okay, so if you are running this, so you once the code writing is completed, then you can go for the option called query and execute. You can execute the statement. Okay, likewise for example. Don't click save. So here what is the thing is, so for an example, whenever you are writing a certain command, so after writing a command, you can simply click control plus shift plus enter. Okay, if you have notebooks with you, just please note it down. If you want to execute a certain statement, so if you want to execute certain statement, you can run like control shift and then enter. Okay, so that is the option to execute the complete part of the program, even though you can able to select some certain part and you can able to execute that. Okay, so whatever the thing which you need, so for an example, whatever the statement which you're going to execute, so you can able to execute by typing that line, and you can press control shift and then enter to execute that complete statement. Whereas if you want to execute the single certain statement, so for an example, from this code we may have lot of different lines. So for an example, here we have used drop tables champ tb. So this is the table which I've created before. So here I've used asterisk symbol, which is nothing but a comment. So so whenever you require to execute multiple lines of program, you can use control shift and then enter to execute the complete program which all present in the scripts. Whereas if you want to execute the certain line, so you can able to select that and you can able to execute this single part or the certain part alone. Okay, so these are all the statements. So for an example, the first one, show database. So what is meant by this show database? So first of all, so you can type the show databases and semicolon, so that it will give you what are the database which is all present here. So as a default, you will get this information schema, MySQL, performance schema, and sys, and then world. So these are all the default or the basic database which are already created. So this is the syntax, like show space databases. So this will be helpful for displaying the database. What all the database are there? So for an example, if you want to create a new database, so for an example, that is also can be easily created by specifying the name. For an example, by using the code called create space database space that database name. So champ semicolon, and whenever if you want to use the certain database in your certain program or something like that, you can use this use command. Okay, use champ. And before that, guys, here we have administration and then schemas. Okay, so if you want to click connect database, if you are click that, so you just want to click the database and then connect database. Okay, we are going to connect a database first. So we just want to click a database and connect a database. If you click that, it will show this option. So local instance MySQL 80 and standard TCP IP, and here host name is a local and port number is 3306. Okay, don't change anything. You can click directly OK. So once you have clicked the OK, it will ask you the password. So what is the password to access the database? So if you have clicked that, so what is the thing? So it will ask for the password. So here I'm going to give the password. Actually, I've given the previous password before. Okay, I'm going to give my password. So password, I hope you all remember from the mind map, guys. Okay, which we have already created. So if you have clicked OK, so it will connect into the database first. Okay, so here on the left side, so here there is a two menus, guys. So on the left side, you just please watch it carefully. Here we have administrator and then schemas. Okay, whenever you are opening this MySQL workbench, first of all, you just connect to the database. You just click the database and you just click connect to the database. Once you have clicked the connect to the database, and then you just click OK, and then it will you ask username and then password. If you have given the username and then password properly, then in the left side now you can able to visualize list of list of databases. So for an example, there is a CHAMP database, Sakila database, and Sys database, and then World database. So these are all like different database. If you want to visualize that, that is also can be done. So for an example, so if you want to execute that, for an example, what is the command? The command which is going to display or show the database, which is database, right? Show databases. Okay, semicolon. Okay, and then you can press Control Shift and then enter. So once you have executed, you will get this output like this. So what all the database are there? CHAMP, information schema, MySQL, performance schema, Sakila, and Sys World. So likewise, you can able to execute a certain command. Okay, and then if you want to create a new database, what is the command or what is the code, guys? So create database, that name. So what is the username? For an example, I'm going to run this. So for an example, create database page, the name. Okay, so I'm going to create a new database called CHAMP. Okay, semicolon. Okay, if you are creating that, okay, I'm going to execute that by pressing Control Shift and then enter, or you can execute by going for the option called query. On that query, you can execute a complete data or a selected statement. So if you want to select or if you want to run a certain line, you just select that certain line, you can execute this current statement. Or else if you want to run the complete code which you have written in this complete script, you can click this execute all or selection. So if you have executed that, so it is giving the error, can't create database CHAMP, a database which is already exit, because the CHAMP database which is already present here, right? So now I'm going to create another new database called Sanjay. Okay, so and then Control Shift and then enter. Okay, once you have run that, so now you have created a new database called Sanjay. Okay, there is two database now, one is CHAMP and another one is Sanjay, but still now there is no data which is present there, but only database is the thing which we have created now. Okay, so CHAMP and then Sanjay. Okay, totally we have created a new database. Okay, this is the way to create a database, guys. For an example, in the another new script, so in this basic script, if you want to use the certain database, you can use the command called use. Okay, use keyword. Okay, use space CHAMP, so it is going to use that certain database. So for an example, from this, that is a two ways, guys. One way you can use the command called use space that database name, or else you can choose a certain database as a default from this schemas. So you just want to go for this administration, this schemas. So under the schemas, you can right click this any certain database, or else you can press the refresh button, because Sanjay have created, still now it is not been updated. Now you can click this refresh symbol so that you will get this Sanjay database is also, which is all present here. Okay, so once it is not done, what we are going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going for here we have other options like load spatial data, set as a default schema. Okay, so that whenever you are using or whenever you are writing a script, it will use the schema as a default. Okay, I'm going to click this. So it's your option. So which database? So if you are using multiple database which contains different data, so based on your data requirement, you can use or you can import the certain databases, or you can use the certain database for your certain application. Okay, so here we have created that. Okay, so here we have created that and we are going to use that. Okay, these are all the commands. Okay, so creating a database, and here we have other options like creating a table, inserting a certain data under the table, and selecting a data and dropping a table. So for that, we have already created a single program. So from the single program, you can able to understand this complete command. For an example, first of all, for an example, guys, if you want to create a new table, so you can able to create it by using create table CHAMP-DB. So let us command the other parts. Okay, so I have this. Okay, so I'll execute or I'll run step by step. Okay, so before that, okay, so CHAMP-DB already exists. Okay, what is the main thing? So for an example, since I have already created that table called CHAMP-DB, I'm going to execute this drop tables CHAMP-DB. Okay, I'm going to select this, and I'm going for the query and execute current statement. Okay, if you have executed that, below, so there is an output option, right? So on that output option, it shows that drop tables CHAMP 0 rows affected, which means what is meant by that 0 rows affected means there is no error in that execution. Okay, so and then what we are going to do is we are going to go for creating a new table. Okay, now I'm going to comment this drop tables because which we have already removed that table. So what is the command to create a new table? So it is also simple, guys. Create space the table name, okay, space that the table syntax, create and then table space the table name. What is the name for your table? So champ tb, okay, of rating space data type. So these are all like formats, guys. So what does mean by the format? So format or data type, we need to specify that variable name and its data type. For an example, rating is the variable name and integer is the data type, and book is the variable name, and here we have its data type, and price is the variable name and decimal is its data type. For an example, here we are going to give one library or any bookshop details, which is books rating and the book name and the book's price. So this is the information, or this is the table which we are going to create on this MySQL as a table. Okay, if it is so, then first of all create table, the table name of rating and its data type. So rating means how we'll give the rating. So 4 rating, 5 rating, 3 rating. So likewise, so if you really want that to be in the decimal point, so you can give a decimal or you can use a float options. Okay, rating space integer, okay, the variable name and then that data type name, that data type, and then that variable name, the second variable which is book, and then that its data type, and then the another variable which is price and its data type decimal. So likewise, we have created these variables, and we have also created a primary key which is rating comma book. So we are going to get only that primary data, primary key, which we have already seen, right? So what is mean by the primary key, guys? I hope you all remember that statements, okay, which is going to execute, or which is going to be like using only unique values, as well as it is also going to have no null values. It is not going to include the null values. Okay, likewise, we are going to assign like primary key of rating comma book. Okay, so you can also call it like a features. Okay, so that is the primary key which we are going to create, and what we are going to do is we are going to now use insert statement. Okay, so what is the insert? So insert option, which is going to be helpful for inserting a data into a certain data column. Okay, because we have already created some titles, right? So titles in the sense rating title, a book, and then price. Now it's time to insert some data in it. So how we can able to insert the data? So insert into that table name, that champ tb table name space value. So what kind of data we are going to enter? We are going to enter the values for the certain labels. So here we are going to enter one by one data. So 4, that is a rating, comma, power of subconscious mind, this is the book name, comma, price, okay, 99.45 rupees. And then here we have another data which is 3, comma, attitude is everything, and another, this is the second data, and 4, third data which is 4, that is the rating 4, and then rich dad poor dad, this is the book name, and then we have entered the price of that book, and we have kept a semicolon here. Okay, so if you are executing that, so you will get the results, or you will create a new table. So on that new table, for that new table, the name is a champ tb, and the title which is going to be a rating, and then book, and then price. So for that, we are going to enter a 3 data or 3 values, which is power of subconscious mind, book, and then attitude is everything, and then rich dad poor dad. Okay, these are all the data which we are going to append, or which we are going to enter in there. Okay, so control shift and then enter. You can execute it here. Here we got this output. Okay, so here we got this certain response. Okay, there is a tick. Okay, there is no any error here. Okay, once it is done, so if you want to visualize it, that is also possible. Okay, if you want to visualize it, that is also possible, because previously we have seen the databases, right? So show databases or show the table, so that can be done with the help of by using the command called show. Okay, so here what we are going to do is, let us go for another options like what to say it is about. Okay, let us execute another statement. So here what we did, it is select from champ order list. Okay, so here what is the thing is, here we have displayed a certain data. For an example, if you want to access a certain data from the certain table, that is also can be done. So for an example, select star from champ tb order by rating. So for an example, if you want to visualize the data, for an example, let us comment this part. Okay, so I'm going to execute select star, okay, from, okay, this is the data, right? So this is, let us use this one. Okay, so you can able to execute this. Okay, so I'm going to execute like Control Shift and then enter. Okay, ChampDB already exists because it is already created now, right? So I'm going to remove that and I'm going to recreate it. Okay, if you have executed that, because since I've already created, I attempt to create it again, so that's why I've dropped out the table. Okay, now in here the window based on the rating, so it is just sorted out the data like 344, attitude is everything, its price is 50.99 rupees, and power of subconscious mind, which is 99.45 rupees, and rich dad power dad, which is 89.99 rupees. So this is the data which we have obtained. I hope you are clear with this, guys. We have created a certain table by adding or by using some of the commands like create. So what are the syntax or what are the commands which you have used before, guys? While talking about this command, so here we have used create, and here we have used show, and we have used the insert, and we have used the select, and we have used the drop table. So what is the select which is for? So select here, what it is for, it is going to be like selecting a certain data from the certain table, or selecting a certain variable from the certain table. So here the table is ChampDB, whereas with the help of the parameter called rating, we are going to sort out the certain data or the complete data which are present in the table. We are going to filter it out, or we are going to sort it out in that certain manner. Okay, so these are all the things, guys. I hope you are clear with this, guys, the basic about basic commands, how to execute the statement or how to write a basic function. Okay, so likewise we have given the syntax also. You just go through once and you just try to practice by yourself and try to execute it. Okay, and apart from it, there is also other commands like updation or deleting a function. So later if there is any possibility, we'll see on the later session. And before that, load dataset CSV data to the database. So what does mean by that? So here, what is the thing is, for an example, guys, if you want to load a certain databases, that is also possible, guys. Okay, for an example, if you have any Excel sheet which is present in your local directory, if you want to load that Excel sheet into this MySQL workbench, that is also possible. So how can I do that? So here we have Champ, right? So under the Champ database, here I have tables. So you can right click the table and you can use the option called Table Data Import Wizard. Okay, what I'm going to do on the left side here, there is a Champ database. On the Champ database, we have already created a tables. You just want to create a you just want to right click on the tables, and we need to go for the option called Table Data Import Wizard. Okay, Table Data Import Wizard. You just want to click that. Okay, once you have clicked that, there is a file path option. So we just want to click browse. So you can use any data set. So I'm going to use Titanic Survival.csv, which we have already used before, and I'm going to click next. So on clicking a next, it is going to ask whether I need to update or whether need to update in the existing table, or do I need to create a new table. So I'm going to click creating a new tables under this Champ. So I'm going to click next here. I'm going to drop the table. Okay, so here itself it will ask for a certain table, and before session, guys, we have used some of the dropout function and deleting function, right? Same as like here also there is options like to choose different columns, like P class is there, sex is there, and age is there, and fair is there, and survived is there. So and its type is also there. So by identifying this type, if you want to write a script, that is also possible. So what are the types are there? Int, text, integer, double, integer. Okay, likewise, if you want to drop out a certain data, you can drop out and you can change whatever you want. So once is each and every column, whatever the column you need, you just want to select whatever the column which you need, and you just want to click next. Okay, here there is an option like it is a window like a prepare, import, and import data file. You just want to click next. So it will prepare and it will import the data. So what is the thing is, so here we have created a new database. For the database, we have created a new table. So on the new table, we have added some data like book details, and then we have also added a external CSV file. Next, and then finish. Okay, once it is clicked, what it will do is it will try to add another new data or another new table into the existing database. Okay, so the Excel sheet which we already present here, we are going to load that Excel sheet into the certain database which we are gonna have that. Okay, so this is the about the basic about SQL workbench, guys, how to handle that, how to write a basic scripts. Okay, there are a lot more things which we are about to explore, definitely we'll explore later. Okay, so I hope you clearly understand up to now, guys. If you clearly understand up to now, you just post I'm super clear Sanjay in your comment box. And also, guys, so here we have another options like export or import. So if you want to export the recorded data, so for an example, here we have this data, right? So whatever the changes which you made on the certain program, if you want to export the data, so that can be exported by using this export option. So Junk3, you can click the save so that this data will be exported as a separate CSV file in your local directory itself. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this, and you can use this refresh or whatever the option which you need. Okay, so these are all the left side. Here we have database, and under the database, what are the menus or what are the options are here. Okay, so here we have tables, views, and stored procedure functions. So likewise, it is going to have lot of different database. So likewise, you can create how many database you need, and what are the data which need to be present on the certain database. So likewise, we can able to choose, or we can able to create different kind of database, and different kind of data can be loaded into the certain database. It can be a tables, or it can be another format. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Okay, so this is all about complete mind map, guys. I hope you like this mind map. Please download it, and please go through once about this mind map and try to work as a hands-on. Okay, and 30-day success mindset. So yesterday's session or yesterday's task, which is about to watch